Missing animals is a more complex issue, I think, for animal communicators. And there are a lot of animal communicators who won't work with missing animals because it's very difficult and distressing on a number of levels. One is that the family is distressed, and the family, sometimes that distress comes out in very, very high expectations, certainly a sense of urgency, and and trying to do what you need to do to communicate with an animal, and particularly with an animal who's lost, as well as to manage those relationships with a distressed family who want the answer yesterday. All really understandable, but it just, for some people, it's just too hard. The other thing is that for the animals, so animals, when they're lost, in a very short time, they go back to their natural state. They start to live on their senses again. They start to, they lose some of that habituated living with humans, personality and instincts. They're living purely on their primal instincts. Safety is their main concern. Safety and food are their main concerns. So even you might walk right past a dog who you've lived with for the last 5 years, calling his or her name, but they're so frightened and so distressed that they don't come. They just stay there hidden safely where they are. So that makes it very hard to find animals as well. My most recent lost animal communication was a cat who was missing, had been missing for, I think, about 24 hours from memory. And so I did a communication, and the very first thing that I saw was an older couple, a man and a woman, and they were looking over fences. You could see them looking over fences, and I couldn't see what they were looking at or what they could see. I could just see that from the back that they were peering over fences. I spoke to the person whose cat it was, and she said, they're my next door neighbours. They just rang me to let me know that they're looking and they're peering into yards. So for me, that meant that the cat, wherever the cat was, she could see those people. So, and those people had just recently been in the cat's yard because the owners of the house were out looking for the cat. So they had gone to the house. They were looking over the fence. They'd rung them to let them know, we're going to help you find your cat. We've just been to your place and we're going to all the houses in the street. And then I said, she can see this older couple peering over fences. So we knew that we knew, one, that she was alive, and two, that she wasn't very far away. And then I could see her, and she was covered in cobwebs, dust, cobwebs. She was almost unrecognizable because she was just covered in cobwebs. So for me, that meant she was in a place that people didn't go to very often, an unused part of the shed, underneath an old bomb of a car in a backyard, under the house, something like that. And then the last thing that she showed me was she was terrified, and there was a dog. I could see a black dog's face peering in at wherever she was, with these incredibly sort of beady eyes, kind of just really staring at the cat. So I was able to pass that information on, and they realized very quickly that the cat was under their house. They hadn't looked under the house because it had always been inaccessible, but they'd forgotten that the week before, or a few days before, a plumber had gone in under the house to do some work, and had obviously not quite shut the gate properly after himself. So the cat could get in under the house. Luckily, the dog couldn't get in under the house because they weren't friends. And anyway, once they had that information, she was pretty easy to find. It was a really good outcome.